Hello, I am a bus nut, which means that I love buses. In my free time, I like to design floor plans for million-dollar buses using the Prevost frame. I'm going to explain the steps that I take to design my floor plans. Okay, the first thing I do when I am going to come up with a bus design is I have to do a lot of research first. So the first thing you're going to need are some supplies. And what I use are my laptop, a nice ruler, a very fine tip pencil, a big eraser in case you screw up like I do, and a ton of research. The research includes things like sofas and chairs, televisions, air conditioning units, water tanks, beds, furniture of all different kinds, the different chairs you want, what kind of chair you're going to want for the driver, what kind of chair you're going to want for the passenger, if you're going to want a fireplace in the bus, the different styles of TVs that you can have in there, all of the audio equipment, your DVRs, your Blu-ray players, your satellite dishes, all of the sinks, the cabinetry, the toilets, the showers, the beds, the bedding, the flooring. I try to get all of the stuff that I would want to put into a bus before I begin my design. Once I have all that compiled, which I've been compiling it for quite a while, then I can easily go ahead and design a bus. One of the other things that you're going to need is the schematics of a particular bus brand. Now I generally like to use the Prevost brand because it's just the more universal for a entertainer or a motorhome type bus. So in that we get the length of the bus, the height of the bus, the interior height and length of the bus, all of those kinds of things we're going to need to know in order to design our bus floor plan. When I decide to design a bus for somebody or for myself, if it's for a friend, what I like to generally do is think about that friend or think about what I would want and think about, like if I'm designing it for a friend, which is most of the time what I do, I look at what are my friends' interests, what do they like to do, what do they enjoy, what do they like activities, different sporting events or different activities that they like to do. Do they really like to watch movies a lot? Do they really like to rough it if they're going camping, which I guess if you're buying a $2.5 million bus, you probably aren't going to be roughing it a whole lot. But, so I look at the individual, and I have one friend who is really, he really enjoys the finer things in life. So when I designed his bus, it was more of a spa type of a bus. So it had a massage chair, and it had a sauna, and it had a steam shower, and he really wanted a big bed, so we got him a California king bed, which is just a little bit bigger than the normal size king bed. He wanted certain things in his kitchen, certain flooring, so I looked and I researched out, and we put black granite for his countertops and different things like that. So when I go to design a bus, that's some of the things that I look at, is how can I make this bus fit the person or the people that I am going to be designing it for. So the first step that I take is I get some very nice graph paper with really small squares. Now what I represent on the graph paper is every inch or every square on the graph is 12 inches by 12 inches. And that way I can fit my entire bus on there. And then I start out with the fine tipped pencil that you saw earlier and the ruler, and I mark off 45 feet from beginning to end on the squares. So that is 45 squares would be represent the 45 foot of the bus. Then I also do that for the width of the bus. I have it marked down to 9 because it's about 8.5 feet in width. Then I mark off my interior wall line right there, which is the second line you see there. And then up here would be the dash and my 27-inch entry door, and those are the steps going into the bus, and then the steering wheel right there. So from there, what I like to do, as I said, is I draw out, I research out what I'm going to put in that bus for that individual. So I actually go out and I find the couch that I'm going to put into that bus, or the chair that I'm going to put in that bus, and then I begin to draw them in there with the measurements, so that theoretically everything that I put into these buses will fit into the bus. Now obviously I'm not a mechanical engineer or a construction guy, so somebody with a little bit more knowledge than I would have to make some of the electrical things work, but from what I've seen on these buses, they can do just about anything you can desire or want. So that's the first steps that I take. Once I have everything that I want to put in the bus kind of figured out, then I begin to draw it out. I'm going to show you a few of the buses that I have drawn out, and you get to see a few of the buses right there from my own little collection that I have. Anyway, so I'm going to start out with the one that I had mentioned earlier, called the spa bus. So in this one, this is the one where my friend is really into the finer things in life. So you come in, and he only wanted it for just him and a friend, or just, you know, a couple people. So you come in and you have your two captain's chairs right here with a nice round circle table of I believe it was an oak. We have a nice fold-out couch right there for a bed. And we have a fairly large stove for a bus, and a nice fridge and a countertop. He wanted a double sink, so we have that right there. And right here, this dotted line, that represents where the microwave is. And this right here, this little box, that is actually a closet for his food, that as he pulls it out, the drawers actually will slide out this way towards him. And then we have his small little bathroom with a nice sink, and he had picked this nice oval sink that he liked, so we put that in there. And then we have his spa kind of room starting right back in here. So right here is his steam shower slash sauna, and his very expensive massage chair. That's about a $9,000 chair. His California king bed with end tables on each side. Right here he wanted a washer and dryer, so we put that in there. And then we gave him a nice really big closet on the very end. The next one I'm going to show you is what I call the Hollywood. Now this one was drawn up for a friend of mine who just really loves movies and playing video games. And so up here on the top it wasn't quite finished, but down here you can see the actual finished product. We put it in so that he wanted as many people as he could fit in there to drive around and watch movies and play video games. So we have the two captain's chairs, the pilot chair right there, and a co-pilot chair. The couches that do fold out into beds. And we have a sink, a stove, and a fridge. He didn't want to do a whole lot of cooking. And we have a nice little bathroom here for him with a shower and a toilet and a sink. And then we have a bunk room right here with 3 bunks in each. Now I've seen no more than 3 in a coach before. They are stackable and adjustable so that they kind of can raise the height to what they need. Then into the back, into the movie theater room back here, we have 6 reclining swivel chairs with nice little end tables on each one. Right here is a movie projector and a theater style popcorn maker and pizza oven. We have an actual TV on the back wall right in here, and then we have a projector screen that will come down out of the ceiling so when they want to watch their movies. And the last one I'm going to show you is our own family bus that I drew up. This is one of the first buses that I drew, and I didn't have graph paper or anything back then, so I had to just kind of freehand it. So we have, in our bus, we have a nice slide out right here, and we come in and we have a countertop right here. so that can kind of come in handy when you're needing to place things with 6 of us. We have a little end table and a nice fold-out couch on each side. We have a smaller sink, a smaller stove and refrigerator, and a nice slide-out pantry right there. And then we have a nice 4-person bench dinette where we can go into there and eat. And then we have more storage right here that will slide out as well. Then we have our bunk room for the kids, and these would be 3 bunks each on each side. Each one of them has a little flip down DVD player right there. The rooms are separated by these little air pocket doors that will slide out to close off the room. And we have the bathroom with a toilet, and a sink, and a shower. And then the master bedroom right here with a little closet right in here. A little makeup area for my wife because I really don't need makeup. And a queen-size bed for us with end tables on each side, and then more storage into the back. So there's just a few examples of the buses that I like to draw up and how I go about deciding what I put in them and putting them together. And it's just something fun that I like to do when I have free time. If and when that ever happens again, I intend to get back into this. So thank you for watching.